In this video, I'm continuing in my playthrough of some of the scenarios in Norman Conquests. And I'm now up to probably the most famous battle of them all, Hastings, October 14th of 1066. In this game, there are a couple of setups. There's the one that is most commonly known as with the forward setup, but there is the potential for an additional setup, which would be an alternative deployment. And this would be set on the hill. I can show you a picture of it here. It's this hill to the rear instead of I'm going to call it the historical setup. I think that you have both of these because we don't really know for sure, but there was a theory that they may have been actually set up here, the Saxons. But I decided to use the more common one, and the Normans basically going to have the initiative, and the Saxons can use shield wall if they wish, which gives a die roll modifier. It reduces the effectiveness of enemy archers against the shield wall. It also gives you a -1 modifier in shock combat. The problem is the guys in shield wall can't move and they can't attack, so they just have to sit there and absorb, but they have a little bit better defensive ability. So we'll have to take a look at how I'm going to handle that, and we'll go down to the map. So here we are. It's October 14th of 1066, East Sussex, England, and we're about to have the Battle of Hastings. And so I have the initial deployment shown in this first picture, and in the purple units are the Normans. So on the left flank you have Alan Rufus, the Lord of Richemont, and he's holding that flank down. He is then flanked himself in the center by William II, Duke of Normandy, with the purple stripe across the units. And then on the right flank, you have the Count of Bologna, and with the green stripes. And as I mentioned before, I chose to go with the more common battle plan, which has the Saxon units in the green farther forward than the optional rule, which allows them to be back toward the woods farther. And what we have here on the in the picture on the left side, which would actually be the right flank of the Saxons, is Gurth Godwinson. And then in the center, you have King Harold II in the yellow striped units. And then on the right side of the picture, or the left flank, you've got Leafwine Godwinson. So what I decided to do here, the Saxons have the option of using shield wall, but I decided not to use it. I wanted to have them be a little bit more aggressive and see how that maybe would affect this game. The Normans are not allowed to use the shield wall, and we do have a timed engagement here. And one of the things that can happen after a certain level of flight points, the Normans can call a pause at the sacrifice, I think, of 3 time marker points, but it would allow both sides to retreat 2 hexes from wherever they are and then to recover their morale. So that's may or may not happen. We'll have to see. But that's pretty much how this game sets up. I decided to start out somewhat historically by having the Normans attack and trying to use their archers, which I did. There's no shield wall, so they had a little bit better chance of success, but it was not meant to be, and none of the arrows hit. So Bologna went in for the attack, and you can see in the picture that Eustace has got a bunch of disrupted pike units in the enemy line from his initial assault. So this went well, and the Norman right flank is really has encroached on their Saxon counterparts. This next picture shows a little bit later activation where you continue to have the Norman right flank collapsing onto the hill into the Saxon left flank, and you have a little bit of action by King Harold, who is defending on the hill, and he is engaging with William of Normandy in the center. This next picture shows what's happening on the Saxon left flank, and you'll notice that the Leofwine Godwinson was killed. He was struck down in battle here, and now his replacement is there with the second Earl of Kent counter. And they're still holding their own there, but now they've lost the leader, so the leader values for this flank has now gone down, which is going to be a little bit of a problem for the Saxons. Now, in the next picture, you're seeing what happened after the pause. The flight level for the Normans got up, I think it's to 12 flight points, and I decided to go ahead and declare the pause. So they were able to, everybody was pretty much able to reset somewhat in their positions and recover the morale of the units, but I'm not sure if it was worth doing this or not. We'll have to find out. The next picture here shows the action going again, and you've got the Eustasa of Bologna still conducting the right flank of the Normans and really pushing hard into the Earl of Kent's battle. And then in the center, we've got William II that is driving deep into the position of Harold II, the king of the Saxons. And you can see I've got some mounted men that have pushed all the way through, and there's a bunch of these units that are disrupted, but they're all in contact with each other. So it's kind of a shaky situation for both sides. Anyway, this last picture here kind of shows how things ended up. I mean, William of Normandy his position in the center really got compromised, and he got left hanging out in the open with some disrupted units, which got retired. And what ended up happening is William II was killed. And unfortunately, he set the Norman flight points over the top. I didn't even have to roll a die. And so that didn't go so well. I mean, it was a close fought battle. Both had a high level of flight points, but the Normans fled. So I guess in this one, we've changed the historical outcome somewhat, and we'll have to see how that in our time machine affects the development of the Western world without the Norman conquest. So anyway, thank you for watching, and stay tuned if you'd like to see more war game videos. Have a great day.